and we'll pick right back up with responding to Glenn Mack. Um, you know, not much, been busy was the flavor of what you sent back. And you were talking about one Lisa Gray, a a single mom and lawyer in Pine Box, Texas. She hangs her shingle in town, um, but also does a little bit of work out of her home.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Wondering if we can go talk to her after a
After the
pharmacy
pharmacy.
run. So we'll go. Shep stay on the couch if he needs to. I don't know if he wants to come with us.
What do you say, Shep? I think you don't feel like driving. Your head is pretty stuffy, and you're a little bit dizzy.
Sounds about right.
Hello.
Eric's like, "Well, y'all hop in my truck. I'll drive."
What? No, it's fine.
No, I have a bike. We can take my bike.
Oh my gosh. I
Do
get to
you
ride on the back of a
have a
motorcycle.
Do you have a spare helmet anywhere, Ava?
I have a helmet for my old 70s Vespa. I'm sure I do.
I was,
Perfect.
I was going to say I wanted to see what the MacGyver Edge could come up with. Well, I got this old milk pail. We'll flip it upside down. We'll put some duct tape and some padding on the inside.
It's
For
fine.
sure. And Eric was like,
No, she definitely has a helmet with her little Vespa.
she's like, oh, by the way, if the
Bring
landlord,
don't
when the
forget to
landlord
bring
comes
some money.
around, bring money. When the landlord comes around looking for his rent, um, if he says something about the mailbox, just say you hadn't noticed.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I hadn't noticed. I probably didn't.
All right.
So no problem.
All right.
I got you.
Okay, so you hop on.
Okay.
It's a street motorcycle or is it a dirt bike? Sophia, refresh my memory.
It is a street motorcycle.
Okay.
Street motorcycle.
Look at
Okay.
that. Look at that woman transporting that small child. Oh, that's not a child.
Before we leave, I will let Shep use my comic books and tell him if he wants to play on my PlayStation, he can.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
You're
it's really
welcome, friend.
it's really hard to study bioscience when your head is all stuffed up. You take off. You
We'll be
go
back.
to the local supermarket. Does have a pharmacy aisle.
Mm.
Don't have a prescription, but you can certainly pick up $20 worth of um, antihistamines, decongestants, perhaps something with the PM letters at the end of the name to help Shep get a
Mhm.
good night's sleep.
Let's get
We'll
both
do that.
versions, the AM and the PM.
Okay.
We'll get what we need. I'll go get some Vicks. I'll get a bottle of 7 Up. Get some Gatorade.
Oh, ginger ale. I
That's a
don't know if
good
he's
idea.
having stomach issues, but why not?
I don't know. He looks a little paler than usual.
Yeah. Yeah. That Vicks Vapor Rub probably works really well if you rub it on somebody's back. That's really hard for somebody to do by themselves. Just saying.
uh,
Yeah, you could help him with that, Ava.
All right.
okay, I guess, yeah.
So you pick up those goods, and as you're leaving, there's a map of Pine Box. Looks a couple years old. It's hanging up in the front window, but you sort of trace where Lisa Gray's address is, and you knew it was in a middle class to upper middle class to maybe lower upper class income neighborhood.
Mm.
Well established older homes, of course, resplendent with sturdy, thick, healthy tree growth.
Oh.
So,
Ah,
so you know where you're going, and I suppose you would want to go back and drop off the goods first, or do you want to
Yes.
swing by Lisa's first?
Drop off the goods.
Okay.
No, we want to make sure he gets better first.
Hmm.
But well, if it's very far, can we tell if it's much further from us? Like how long of a drive it would be?
It's closer to where you are now, but since it's in town, going home first doesn't make it an extremely long ride. It's just,
Mm.
you know,
Out of the way.
30 mile an hour, 35 mile an hour roads, your stop signs, your stoplights, the chance of encountering the Pine Box Sheriff's Department, Pine Box's finest. Um, it's good that you're not in that large red pickup truck with the white um, hood
Yeah.
and the crumpled front fender, because that's just screaming, pull me over and ask me about the Quiet Villas rest home.
Or
So,
wearing a ninja outfit.
Or the water tower.
could be the water tower. Could be the water tower. You're surprised that identification hasn't been made. Maybe those high school students don't want you to get in trouble and have not turned over what amounts to a pretty good amount of evidence to identify you. Even just your physical descriptions and the ETU tag on the parking tag on the truck bumper, the make and model of the truck, um, the live video that they had taken of you while you were trying to kind of hide your faces. Probably they heard one or more of you refer to each other by your first name.
Probably
Perhaps.
No.
up online.
The fact that the one gal with the curly hair was pretty good at picking locks. Maybe she's some sort of covert agent or something like that. I don't know.
If this gets out and gets traced to us, we need to hack the high school computer system and flunk them back to the ninth grade.
All right.
We don't know who they are.
So you decide that poor Shep is just feeling poorly, and just sitting there and snarfling and coughing has been annoying Mir with his limited mobility, not able to really get away, even going in and shutting the door to his room and putting on, some Middle Eastern flavored instrumental music to try to drown out the hacking and the sneezing and the wheezing and the snarfling and the blowing his nose. You decide to go back home. Decide to go back home first, and sure enough, you see that the mailbox has been hit and is now at an angle, and it looks like this. It looks like the little ball of the ball of cement that the post goes into is partially unearthed, as if this mailbox has been hit before and has been attempted to be strengthened with a thicker post and more cement that they implanted, whoever repaired it, implanted that post into to make it dry. Well, it looks like, again, it's kind of cantered at an odd angle, and indeed,
Oh goodness.
indeed has some telltale sort of brownish gold paint scraped on it.
Oh dear.
So you deliver.
Lisa's not red.
Lisa's not red. So
That's
you
what she meant.
deliver the medicine.
Shep, we're back. You brought your stuff.
Thank you.
We got.
And I didn't notice the mailbox.
Oh, right, the mailbox.
I'm going to roll and see how many hours of relief these analgesics provide. Okay, and yeah, for some period of time, I'll remove a level of fatigue. Shep, you're feeling better. What would you like to do?
Thanks for rubbing that Vicks on me, Ava. I feel a lot better.
Yeah. Fix paper up, fix all your problems. It's what
I-
my mom always says.
Yeah. Next time I'll do my own chest, though, okay?
Ooh. I could just
Damn.
see Ava scooping a handful on her fingertips and just standing as far away as she can and like trying to rub it on, but she's not even touching Shep. And Shep's like, "Well, you actually got to rub it on me to have the medicinal effect." And
God, it's so funny.
then, no, you
That's
don't
how.
just rub it on; you got to rub it in. And Ava going, "Oh,
Oh
oh."
dear.
So,
Ay, Dios mío.
so yeah, you're feeling better. You're feeling better. Rub that stuff in. Pop a couple capsules. Maybe one of those effervescent Alka-Seltzer tablets that dissolves really fast and bubbly, and you suck it down, and it provides you some pretty quick relief. It really gets into your system quickly, and you're feeling passable. You're feeling passable for the time being. So, what would you like to do?
So do I get the Vespa or do I ride on the back of the motorcycle?
The motorcycle
Ooh.
can only fit one other person.
Yeah, you'd be
That's why I'm
strapped.
asking.
Probably the same, yeah. So, do you want to ride with Sophia or do you want to ride with Ava? It's this tall boy behind this tiny little person. Oh man.
Okay, so is the oh crap bar behind the back seat
Well,
of the Vespa,
I-
or do I have to hold on to your waist?
Let me find the picture that I shared. That's a good question. Because I remember sharing a picture of the Vespa. Oh, there is no bar. That
I'm gonna
is no,
say that
there is no
the
bar.
bike.
That is definitely a hold on for dear life to the person in front of you situation.
Somehow I have a
Look at it.
feeling Sophia will leave us just so she can circle around and ride up behind us to watch the spectacle.
I just say that the motorbike thing only worked because Ava was so small. I'm sorry, Shep. I don't think you're gonna fit the both of us. You should take Ava's Vespa. It's a little wider, bigger.
Ah, it's beautiful. That's beautiful. Look at that. Gonna put on my little helmet. This tiny helmet. Uh, I don't know if he has a helmet.
That is so cute.
That's adorable.
What does that even run on? Does it run on fuel or is it plug in an electric charge? I
I'm
don't
pretty
even.
sure that's a gasoline vehicle, but I'm not sure.
All right.
Oh
So
god, that's funny.
the class dismissed motorcycle rally is about to
Yeah,
commence.
Oh
Um,
boy.
my time
Shep
has come.
Shep is riding by himself on the Vespa, while the girls are on Sophia's motorcycle. Um, by my count, you seem to be a helmet shy.
Should we look in the house before we actually leave?
We
To see
should
if
look
there's
in
an
the house.
extra helmet.
Let's.
Can we ask around? Maybe if they have an extra helmet. Also, I am still down for a tall boy holding on to a tiny, tiny girl in the Vespa because it's freaking hilarious.
Even if we don't do that, you have to
Yeah.
draw that.
You'd be
Oh,
You'd be
snap.
pushed all the way to the front to try to keep from making contact with him, and that would mean your
Oh my god.
your knees would be sticking out perpendicularly like wings
Oh,
as you drive.
Or when
God,
she
it's so
doesn't
funny.
think anybody's looking, she does the opposite.
Yeah, tucks back.
Just gonna scoot
Oh,
in there.
Shep, I didn't know that you brought your taser. I didn't.
That's his pocket knife.
That's right. That's
The
right.
pocket knife in my back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Let's see here.
I'm gonna go help you scavenge around the closet and find a spare helmet.
Let's do that because we want to be safe. We don't know what we're gonna run into. Who knows? um,
Spirit roll. there. Sophia,
Yeah.
let's see
And
if you've
if we
got
can't
spirit.
find anything,
Let's see
I
if you
could
got
try
spirit.
and make something.
I've got spirit. I
Yes,
sure
you
Yay!
do. Yes, you do. The next door neighbor says, I think there's a helmet in the garage. It was left. It was left there by one of the people that was living here last semester. Maybe one of the summer students. And he rummages around. He comes out. He's got a football helmet.
Oh, it's perfect.
Here,
Wonderful.
I guess it'll do. It's supposed to keep you from getting concussions and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Texas. I don't know if there's a law that if you're riding that little scooter around, you even need to have any protection. But
Oh,
he
safety first.
says,
You never know.
he says, you got some goggles or something? Because some safety goggles or even some real thick sunglasses? Because you'd hate for a piece of gravel to pop up and ping you in the eye.
I think my friend has goggles. She majors in chemistry. She probably has some around somewhere.
That'll
Safety
do.
goggles.
Yeah.
He's
Thank
Yes.
you so much.
he's going to kind of look like a dork. I mean, more than usual. But,
I
yeah.
feel like I'm going to blow up the giant.
We're used to it.
All right. So you hop on the Vespa, Shep. You have a football helmet.
It's better than nothing.
So
It's not a Vespa, it's a Starfighter. Okay.
on a 1, it's ETU. On a 2, it's another local college conference. 3, it's American Football League. And 4, it's a National Football League team. Drop that old. It's a 3. It's an AFC team.
Doesn't matter. Shep does not know who they are.
Yeah. Looks like a buffalo on the side, but you're not sure. You pop it on. You guys cruise off. I imagine the motorcycle is in front.
I think so.
Yeah,
'Cause
Sophia's gonna be in front and we're gonna be in the back.
Her motorcycle is faster, I think.
Okay, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, more than likely, especially with another passenger on this little Vespa.
All right.
Top speed 36, if that means anything.
For a Vespa.
No, the Vespa. Let's see.
The motorcycle.
12 miles an hour, going downhill with a tailwind.
Oh my gosh, what could I actually compare this little Vespa to?
Just what you've seen kind of driving around, like in YouTube videos, people driving around Florence, Italy, on these little things.
Motorcycle.
I don't think they go terribly fast. I'd say they
Yeah,
probably
I don't
top
think so.
out at about. We'll say this one tops out at about 12 or so.
Maybe we can equate it to the dirt bike.
Mhm.
That's only 32 top speed
That's way too fast.
for a Vespa.
Yeah, I don't know. It really doesn't matter
I have
because
no
you're
idea.
going to be going cautiously. You're going to be going the speed limit. You're not going to want to draw any attention. Sophia, make a smarts roll.
Okay.
This is kind of a navigation.
Where my smarts go? Right there.
Wow.
I don't know, Ava. Roll me a smarts roll.
Sure.
You're not sure, but boy, Sophia is positive she knows where she's going, and in fact, she's giving you hand signals like about 1/16 of a mile before you turn, a very clear, right turn, left turn signal or right turn signal. She clearly knows where she's going, and she's being very careful not to outpace you. You two pull into a cul-de-sac.
Oh. I will, oh yes. I will follow her along, trusting her entirely.
She seems to know. Exactly.
And tell Shep that we
I
saw
saw a
the
map.
Yeah, that we saw that one map at the store while we were shopping for medicine, and uh, yeah, we're pretty sure we managed to figure this out correctly.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, if you all see a map of the
Yeah.
cul-de-sac where Lisa
Yeah.
Gray lives, she is in B. And note that this illustration has many trees,
I see them.
many healthy elms, maples, and
Ooh.
pine variety trees.
Oh, look at
Um,
that.
you see a for sale sign in front of E. Now,
Oh,
now reduced. Call, and there's a local realtor and a phone number on it. A has what looks like a small mound of mulch in the driveway and a
mm,
small one of those quarter-ton pickup trucks and a shovel. Kind of looks like it was stuck into the mulch, but it fell over. But it's kind of leaning on the pile of mulch now.
oh,
Down there at House D, there is an old model Mercedes Benz in the driveway. One of those old, very blocky, with the big round headlights and the rather blocky body type. I would say it's probably from the early '90s, maybe, or something like that. An older model,
mm,
shiny and very well kept. Its hood, it's not its hood. Its trunk is open. There are two suitcases on the ground besides the trunk, and there's sort of a middle-aged man talking to an elderly couple, and this elderly couple looks like they live in A because they're dressed for yard work. She's probably holding like a little hand rake and has like knee pads on for
Are they wearing
weeding.
sunglasses?
They are not wearing sunglasses,
Just checking.
and they seem to be having kind of a very amiable conversation with the guy that looks like he lives in D. Looks like he just got back from a trip. But what really catches your attention is there is a police car and a state vehicle out in front of B, in front of Lisa Gray's house.
ooh, oh dear.
And the folks, the elderly couple in front of D that are talking to the man that likely lives in D, um, with the trunk popped open and getting his luggage out, dressed in like a casual business attire. They see, you know how it is. They're trying to make it look like they're not looking across the street, but they just can't help
They're
but
being
look.
nosy.
They can't help but look across the street. And
Yeah.
I guess you two like pull in to the off that main road into this quiet. Um, these are nice homes. The gray house is one story. We'll say C and E are two stories,
Mm,
and
okay.
you pull in, but on a Vespa and a motorcycle. If you want to do a quick U-turn, maybe using a little bit of building A's driveway to cut the horseshoe or the hairpin and just head out to the road, you can. There's a police car, an official-looking car, a state vehicle, a sedan in front of B, but you don't see anybody. They're probably inside. There's a white minivan parked in B as well. It looks practically brand new,
Huh.
belonging to
Uh,
Lisa Gray, the lawyer.
we don't see Lisa Gray anywhere at this moment.
You don't. It's apparent that the other two cars in the street are parked closest to Lisa Gray's house, like right in front on their side. Like they come in, they did the circle around the circle, and then pulled
Yeah.
back out and parked right in front of her house. B.
Okay. So, and you said that the elderly people are talking with the person at D.
Yeah, he looks like a probably some sort of a manager, some sort maybe a salesman or some sort of business type. Um, and he's just having a friendly chat with the elderly couple. And you could tell they're the ones that live in A because they're just, she's got the knee pads on, she's carrying like a little rake, and the guy's sort of
Yeah.
stretching his back out, and he's got like those gardening gloves on,
Phew. Excuse me.
and is probably wearing old, kind of soiled khakis. You could tell that he's both been sitting on his butt in the dirt and also on his knees in the dirt because his khakis look like they're for doing yard work.
Okay. Um.
And the businessman is sort of looking up at the sky like they're talking a little bit about the weather, but you get the sense that his eyes are sort of akimbo, right over across the street.
I love it. And nobody's trying to stop us, right? We've just kind of like,
Public street.
all right, cool. Um,
We'll say you
I
pull
will
in.
follow Sophia over to this corner, I guess. I take it that we can see all of this from, let's see, where would we have stopped at?
You could
I'd say
probably
right in
go
front of
straight
A.
to
You're
B.
you're considering turning around right around where the driveway of A is, but you can go all the way in. I mean, these are public streets. There's nothing illegal about
Yeah.
pulling in.
Let's
I mean, you could even be looking at
we can
E,
park
which
we
is
can
for
park here without a problem,
oh,
basically, as long as we're not on a
absolutely,
driveway, right?
absolutely,
Perfect.
absolutely without a problem. And just to reinforce this, House E is currently
Mhm.
vacant, and there's a for sale sign. So people stopping into this cul-de-sac, it's not going to be unusual at this point, right? There are always people
Alright.
coming in to just, oh, let's look at that house, at least from the outside, see if we want to, get a realtor to represent us and go inside,
Okay.
maybe an open
I'll
house.
I'll scooch up next to Sophia and see, well, that one seems empty. Maybe we can just back up into their little garage space and check out what's going on.
Yeah, that sounds good. We can just park up there and walk over to B.
Like right here.
I mean, Lisa's house.
And
Ah,
we can back up our stuff at the vacant area because since there's cop cars in front of Lisa's stuff,
Hmm.
yeah.
maybe we shouldn't, keep our stuff in their way.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean you probably park the Vespa like a little bit on the sidewalk, and the motorcycle you could still easily get a car
Yeah.
in. Let's say a realtor pulled in with a couple of people to show the house to. It'd be rude to block the driveway.
Yeah. I don't want to do like a double parking
Yeah.
move.
Like on the
Okay.
side.
We're gonna be as much to the side as possible, but facing outward so we could just hop on and leave if we need to. Keep it nice and quick. Um, look over and spot those people talking with themselves while the police stuff is happening across the way.
Yeah. I mean the old man is sort of doing that movement where you slap your hands, the palms of your hands against your hips, like you're getting the dust off your hands, and
Yeah.
he's just looking down, and he's probably got like a straw hat on to keep the sun off his face, and his head
Oh.
is down, and he's just kind of shaking his head kind of sadly, and the businessman is nodding, and it looks like maybe this conversation has about reached its closure. Probably the guy that just arrived back from some sort of away trip. Looks like he was
Mm.
away for at least a week, judging from the size of the two bags he's pulled out of the trunk. He probably wants to go in and just check out his house and get something cold to drink.
So reading the newspaper
Hmm.
thing, did they mention the address of the house of the Mr. Mans in the newspaper or not?
I am not seeing the address here.
No, I didn't either. So we wouldn't know that that house is the same house that this guy was in. But I'm going to poke Sophia and Shep and point over at the people where the men outnumber the woman and tell them maybe we should ask them about what's going on.
Ava, you might see a Benny just got dropped into your tray.
Okay, yay, thank you.
That's a good idea.
There was no address in the newspaper article.
Yes. Okay. We're going to ask them things, and Ava says as she hides behind her friends.
Sure. So we'll say that the businessman is carrying his two suitcases up to the house. No, yeah, that makes sense. It looks like he should really carry them one at a time, but he's trying to carry them both. And the elderly folks are coming down the sidewalk, kind of your way, but if they live in building A, that would not be unusual.
Yeah.
Well, hey there. You coming to look at the property?
We are.
It's a nice house. It's a nice
Uh,
house. The occupants decided to retire overseas.
and it's reduced.
Yeah, well, they're looking to sell it. They found a nice property in Spain, and the husband goes, Portugal, Edna, Portugal. Yeah, Portugal, but close to Spain. Found a nice house, and they're looking to put as much cash down as they can. Such nice people. But yeah, it's a
How's the
nice.
neighborhood though? I look over at the cop cars.
They look over and they give each other an uneasy look that you don't really even need to roll to surmise. And then they look and they go, "Oh, it's nice back here. It's quiet." And these houses are sturdy. It's not like some of those newer developments where it looks like they were all cut from a cookie cutter. Each one of these houses sort of has its own personality, I would say. Its own
Got
little
character.
its own little flair, its own little flavor. Yes, character.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye. The character, the cute little cul-de-sac here.
Yeah. I mean, they started off. They were asking 170, and they just dropped it to 150. And the husband cuts off and says, "Yeah, you could probably talk them down a little lower." And there's
Thanks for the
yeah, and the for sale sign in my mind's eye, I'm seeing like a little tray on the bottom that has the flyers with like a little
Mhm.
flipper to keep the rain from moistening these little paper flyers and making them illegible. But it looks like you can pull out all the information on the house. This little
I
flyer
will grab
has
the flyer.
the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, the fact that it has a half basement, detached garage, forced air, heat, square footage, of course, the year it was constructed, of course, and really plays upon the amenities of the neighborhood. Mature trees and
This side does have
well,
the least amount of trees.
yeah,
Yeah.
just well established neighborhood,
There's that.
quiet cul-de-sac, stuff like that. Well, all right. Well, I guess we better get back to our yard work. Those weeds aren't going to pull themselves. The woman whose name looks like Edna says.
Oh.
Thanks for your time.
And the guys look up at the sky and says, "Yeah, such a nice day. It's can't spend the whole day just out here jawing." Man, I really want to throw a Texas saying in here.
Let's see. I thought that was a thing. Let me see. Because I remember seeing it before.
Yeah. All right. Don't want y'all think we just lit off all rude, but we do got stuff to do. So good day.
No worries.
It's it's okay.
Good day, young people. Now they look at you. It's a little far from the university to rent, and I think they're only interested in buyers.
Oh, well, I'm really liking Pine Box a lot, and I'm trying to convince my parents to move down here. So I'm just if I see a for sale sign, I'm gonna let them know.
All right, sweetie. All right, Edna. What do you say we go eat? All right. And they amble across the street.
I'll grab me a flyer.
Ooh.
Okay. That front door of the Gray house opens, and it looks like a heavy-set African American woman ambles out and gets into the sedan, followed what appears to be possibly a Pine Box sheriff deputy.
Ooh.
Um, while the woman is a little bit rotund and is kind of teetering uncertainly on some heels.
Uh-oh.
The the cop is a handsome fellow, Hispanic origin, probably dark hair, eyes, and dark features. Um, in my mind's eye, I see him looking as a little bit like Eric Estrada from Chips, maybe with a closer cut hair, but that same sort of very charismatic demeanor. And they go out to the street and they talk for a few moments, and then they get in their respective cars and slowly drive away. They
Do
were
you
both
think they'll
parked
stop
out.
coming?
It looks like when they came in, they did the cul-de-sac and then pointed their cars oriented back out to the street. So they didn't have to do a three-point turn. They didn't have to go around the cul-de-sac again. They were already pointed to the main road.
Okay.
So they leave.
Ooh. There's a lady and a cop. So now everything is cleared.
I hope that lady wasn't Lisa.
That she didn't look like Lisa.
I don't remember what Lisa looks like.
No, she
She
didn't
didn't
look
look
like.
like that.
I remember the picture that he showed us of her. She was like this tall, thinner blonde lady. She was a white lady.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
see the
maybe that
handout.
was her, maybe
There it
that was
is.
the babysitter. I don't know, but we could go have a look.
Yeah, we can
Oh,
straight in
did,
there.
did they come out of Lisa's house?
They did.
Mm-hmm.
And they are
Okay.
gone.
The woman
They
had a
came.
bearing of a social worker, you would think. Just
Oh.
how she was dressed and sort of the professional manner in which she presented, the fact that she was carrying like a clipboard and a manila folder and like
Oh.
a satchel, like not quite a briefcase, but like a handheld
Yeah.
record satchel.
When the
And
cops passed by, did we see any children in the car?
you did not.
Okay.
And you would think it unusual for the kids to be sitting in the car while they were inside, and they did not bring any children out with them.
Okay. Yeah.
I shared a picture of Lisa Gray. Did you all see
Yes,
it
and
pop
I
up?
Yes.
found it in the images. I
Gotcha.
just I forget, and
No
I
worries.
imagine
It's been a month.
Sophia would have forgotten.
It's been a month. In my mind's eye, I see a woman that resembles Laura Dern from the Jurassic Park
Mhm.
era of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Early 30s.
Well, I think it's worth going over and knocking on the door. It wouldn't be too suspicious of us. You think?
Well, we just tell her that Glenn Mac asked us to check up on her?
That's right. We
I
have
mean,
her
we,
number.
yeah,
Let's give
we,
her a
we know
call.
Glen Mac.
Let's give
Glenn
her a
Mass
call.
asked us to bring you the dessert from the restaurant.
That dessert we don't have.
um,
Yeah. I will grab my phone and input her number and see if she doesn't answer. Let's see what happens. Because he gave us her details. I remember that.
Hello. You've reached Lisa Gray,
Oh
attorney at law. Please leave a message.
no.
Beep.
I wouldn't answer a number I didn't recognize either.
Oh no.
Let's just knock on the door.
Yeah, let's just knock on the door and, like I said, Glenn Mack asked us to check up on her. He was worried about her, and he knows that we live on this side of town.
Let's
And if
do
anything, we're reaching out.
Yes.
outreach. Okay, let's go across the street then and have a knock on the door.
Absolutely.
Did we move our vehicles out of this person's driveway?
We can drive it over on park on the street
I'm
in front of
just
her house.
saying, just in case somebody decides to
Yeah,
come home.
let's do it.
Sure, you do that.
We'll drive
Your
over to
bikes are
Lisa's
now
house.
across the street, kind of in front of B, but between A and B.
I'm
Don't worry.
furthest away from the tree.
I will be on the street facing towards the main street.
Okay.
And go on up to the front door and wait for my friends.
Okay. Boy, the limbs of that maple tree could almost seem to like reach down.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go like this
I know exactly.
around
I know exactly what you're gonna do.
around the driveway and across those windows. You know,
Hell, I can't make this little thing any smaller.
that is terrible placement.
There we go.
Could go crashing into her house.
You knock and the door opens, and it is definitely Lisa Gray, although her hair is pulled back and kind of greasy looking. She's in sweatpants and a sweatshirt and tennis shoes. No makeup, and her eyes are puffy. It's apparent that she's been crying,
Oh no. Oh dear.
and it looks like when she opens the door, she expects it maybe to be someone else, and she's surprised that it is the three of you. But she's like, "Yes, can I help you?"
Oh, hi.
Hello, ma'am.
So,
Look, if you're
Sorry
selling
to
something, I
bother
really don't have the time right now. It's a really bad time.
Oh, no. We were sent by Glenn Mack.
Yeah.
Glenn Mack?
He,
He was.
I don't know any Glenn Mack.
Ava, what's his name again? He's one of our teachers at the school.
Oh, you mean Glenn? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Glenn.
Okay. Yes, I know. I know Glenn. We went out once recently.
Uh-huh. And
And then it dawns on her. You're the ghost hunters.
he told us
Yes.
that something odd may have occurred and asked if we could assist you with your problem. But we just want to find out what your problem might be exactly. Do you have ghosts?
She's like looks around left and right. It looks like the elderly couple has not yet come back outside to continue their yard work. So I shared an image, and she's like, "Yes, come in for just for a moment." And you walk in to a rather nice dining room, a rather nice dining area with a nice china hutch against the back wall, and a window that opens right out to the front area, kind of revealing her white minivan, which is parked in the driveway. And the table looks like it's possibly made of cherry. It has a nice red hue to it, a reddish sort of hue, and it's polished to a high sheen. There are a couple of candlesticks on like placemats, and she invites you
Oh,
in.
it looks so nice.
Oh yes, well, yeah, we don't usually eat here. It's you know, especially since my husband Bill died, there haven't been very many cheery holiday occasions to pull out the china, as you can imagine. And that hutch has several shelves at varying heights and little like a little china figures. Some crystal, some look like they're like Hummel type of figures, hand painted across the top shelf, and the other shelves have like the hanging uh, coffee cups and the saucers and the dinner plates, with a nice, white with green painting with a nice gold filigree around the edges, and possibly some nice silverware lined up on display as well.
Oh man.
And she's like, "Well, listen, now's really not a good time. I've got to tend to my children. They're very upset." She's like, "CPS um, wants to take my kids away. They think that I'm an unfit mother, and just due to the fact that Marissa's had so many problems, and Matthew just is seemingly more and more withdrawn, just because this house is haunted." You're right. I told I told Glenn as much. Things move around by themselves. They turn up missing, and I find them in places where they shouldn't ought to be. I was um, I let Marissa, my 7-year-old, sleep with me because she won't sleep in her bed anymore, and a uh,
Oh
a
dear.
black man made of shadow was standing over my bed, and Marissa screamed, and he went away, and Matthew is talking to somebody named Rabbi Joshua, and he's his best friend, he says. And um, there's my daughter, and it looks like she's being careful not to be overheard by her kids. And she's like,
Yeah.
and my daughter has a friend named Amy who she's imagining.
Oh.
It's terrible, and uh, listen, I take them to a hotel, and the spirits follow us. We can't get away
Oh.
from them. They
Hmm.
talk about the black man, the man in the black gown, um, that
Ooh.
is causing this girl Amy and this man, this Joshua friend, immense pain. And like I said, things are flying around, and well, in the kitchen, like all the glassware has been broken. I had some nice wine glasses with the long stems hanging upside down, those wooden slots, and all of them have been broken, hurled at us, or just merely dropped and shattered.
Oh dear.
Now Matthew seems to be doing okay, but Marissa's hasn't slept well in many days. You could tell by looking at her; she's wasting away to
Oh.
nothing. She looks like almost like a concentration camp victim. She's lost so much weight. She's so pale, and she was never very healthy to begin with. But her frailty now has just come to the point where doctors can't help her, psychiatrists won't help her, and the police won't help us. And the most that the county will do is send people to come out and try to take them away.
Oh dear.
That is not good.
She's like, I don't know what to do. You really are, as trite as it sounds, you really are my only hope, my last best hope, because I know there's something going on here. I never believed in ghosts or spirits. That was more my husband's Bill's venue. But
Oh, he dabbled?
nobody believed. I mean, the both of us, we used to argue about them, things that exist and things that don't. Do ghosts exist? Do spirits exist? Are they imprints left behind? Is ESP real, or is it just hocus pocus and phooey? Um, you know, he was a
Ah,
stout believer, but he serving overseas in Afghanistan, and I don't know what they do to our men over there, our boys, but cancer just ate him from the inside out, and he's been gone almost 2 years now.
I'm sorry.
I'm doing what I can. Business is pretty good. There's no small number of estate issues that need settling, and well, recently, tax preparation and people, college students needing to be, you know, represented in the court of law. So business here is good enough for me to make it on my own, and I do have bills. Um, VA pay is pay from passing away on duty, and I'm not hurting. This is just
You represent college students.
I do.
Ah,
Good to know.